morning, Hollow Springs! We're kicking off another hour of the hottest hits this side of the ocean with... To anyone still alive on this island, you're in grave danger and need to evacuate immediately. This is Tim LeBlanc, survivor of the Site 1 island incident several years ago, where my dad, Eric LeBlanc, and I managed to escape from. A team of private military contractors were hired by the PuffCorp Corporation and dispatched to this corporate-owned island, designated Site 2, to search for Edward Puffton, CEO and founder of PuffCorp, his wife Barbara, and their 20-year-old daughter Virginia, who had all been missing for several months. Jack Holt, a renowned journalist and personal friend of Edward's, accompanied the team, whose helicopters were shot down by unknown assailants as they approached the island. Jack survived the crash, but was knocked unconscious by a man in a silver coat named Jianyu Zhang, a former PuffCorp employee now working for Sahara Therapeutics, the corporation responsible for the events of the Site 1 island. Jack later awoke alongside another surviving teammate named Kelvin, who sustained a traumatic brain injury from the crash, rendering him mentally impaired and deaf. Working together, Jack and Kelvin set up camps, obtained resources to survive the island, and defended themselves from both cannibalistic tribes and underground mutants. They were also joined by Virginia, who was transformed into a mutant, but unlike the others, she managed to retain her humanity. As Jack explored the island, he discovered sprawling cave systems, underground bunkers, luxury facilities, and ancient structures showing evidence of an advanced civilization. From documents he found along the way, Jack learned that PuffCorp acquired the island under the guise of turning it into a luxury bunker community resort called Hollow Springs, but was actually secretly competing with Sahara Therapeutics over control of an artifact known as the Cube. This also included a rare and previously undiscovered golden ore known as solophyte, which the Cube and the island's other relics are composed of, and was found to have both supernatural and medicinal properties. Jack eventually found surveillance footage showing that all the resort guests were suddenly transformed into mutants at a celebratory dinner party, Edward and Barbara Puffton among them, and was later forced to kill them upon encountering and being attacked by them. Jack also encountered me and my dad after we came to the island in search of the Cube, hoping to use it to cure me of my uncontrollable mutations from being exposed to the Site 1 artifact. After being separated from us during a standoff with Jianyu, Jack learned that the Cube can travel to alternate dimensions, will activate every 8 lunar cycles, and that the only safe haven from the Cube's negative effects is inside the Cube itself. Jack realized that the Cube's activations were what caused the mass mutations throughout the island, which created the cannibals and mutants, and that the next activation would happen very soon. At the VIP bunker, Jack and I reunited, and together we made our way underground towards the Cube, managing to get inside, along with Kelvin and Virginia, just as it was closing, but Jianyu showed up a few seconds too late and got locked outside of it. When the Cube activated, I had a seizure and briefly split into multiple versions of myself, before the Cube showed us a vision of a futuristic alien city. Afterward, the Cube deactivated, reset its timer, and reopened, revealing that Jianyu had been mutated into a gigantic monster. Jack and I returned to the surface to see helicopters arriving, but were forced to fight Jianyu, who broke through the ground, destroyed one of the helicopters, and consumed its pilot. After he knocked me unconscious and Jack defeated him, I reawakened to greet my dad and another one of the helicopters, having returned to the island with reinforcements. Just as Jack and I were about to board the helicopter, the pieces of another artifact that he had collected throughout the island activated, carrying off his backpack of supplies while hovering in mid-air, killing all nearby enemies and allies, and attempting to lure him into staying on the island. If Jack had chosen to retrieve his backpack and the artifact, he would have remained on the island, forcing us to leave him behind while he retrieved the final artifact piece, assembling it into a powerful tool capable of teleporting around the island and imbuing objects with solophyte, greatly strengthening their durability. But Jack made the right choice instead. He boarded our helicopter with Kelvin and Virginia, and together we all left that cursed island behind. Afterward, I brought some of the solophyte we collected to my doctor, demanding that he use it to cure me of my mutation, which had gotten even worse. The treatment was successful, and I reverted back to my normal self before proceeding to create and become the CEO of my own pharmaceutical company, Timmy Pharma, profiting off all the medicinal advancements and cures made from solophyte. Virginia was accompanied back to the hospital by Jack, as the two had developed an affection for each other, where she was also cured of her mutations. Kelvin remained mentally impaired, but received excellent treatment and care at a facility where Jack visited him and they became closer friends. 5 months later, Jack went on a much-deserved vacation with the now pregnant Virginia, and they even brought Kelvin along too, taking in the beautiful scenery of coastal roads while joyriding in Jack's new sports car. Jack released a very successful best-selling book detailing his experiences on the Site 2 island before another island, rich with solophyte deposits, was discovered, leading me to use my company's now considerable financial resources to purchase it. I'm creating this recorded message before I set out for the new island, just in case I mysteriously disappear and all contact with the island is lost or something. If there's one thing I've learned from these islands, it's to expect the unexpected. I've set this message to broadcast on repeat at regular intervals on the Site 2 Island bandwidth, just in case anyone's still alive and capable of understanding it. Please, get off the Site 2 Island before it's too late, and good luck. So, keep that dial tuned right here for the best beats on the island. Have a holorific day.